Hello, namaste, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to For Us. And today we're going to talk about the ICC T20 World Cup, but round one. So Group A and Group B, they consist of 4 teams each. Group A consists of Sri Lanka, Ireland, Netherlands, and Namibia. And Group B consists of Bangladesh, Oman, Papua New Guinea, and Scotland. In this video, we're going to talk about Group A. And let's start off with the one team that I never expected to be in round one, which is Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lanka are such a potent team in world tournaments that it's shocking to see them in round one and not in the main Super 12s or anything. But Sri Lanka are so good. Look at that top order, right? They've got Avishka Fernando. They have Asalanka. On top of that, they've got Karunaratne. They've got Dinesh Chandimal. They've got Nisanka. Nisanka has just recently been added to the squad, and he is a very exciting prospect, a very good batsman. He's got his head on straight for a young player, definitely. And then we have to talk about Dhananjaya De Silva, who has been around for quite a number of years, but he's consistent throughout all formats for Sri Lanka. And then we have to talk about their bowling. Yes, their bowling isn't as good as it used to be back in the day, right? Malinga, Vas, Muralitharan, right? But the bowlers they have right now, they have Chameera, who has been consistently one of the best bowlers I've seen for the past year, right? For especially considering he hasn't played that many games. He was great against West Indies, was great against South Africa. Wherever I've seen him play, he is a gem of a player. And now, because of some injuries, unfortunately, they've brought back Lahira Kumara. They've brought back Benura Fernando as well. But Kumara's the one. Kumara's the one with Chameera who's going to be that bowling partnership is going to be fantastic. Both guys can bowl 140, don't bowl 145, but they can bowl a good pace, and at the same time, they have very good slower balls. So definitely great players to have from a Sri Lankan standpoint. If I can talk about one player who, for me, is the most enigmatic, the best player they have, it's Wanindu Hasaranga. This guy can bat, he can bowl, he can field really well, right? In terms of bowling, I think he's played, 25 matches in T20Is and picked up 36 wickets at a strike rate and average of less than 16 with an economy of around 6.5. He is absolutely brilliant. With the bat, he can come down the order and smash a few runs. Played for RCB, but unfortunately didn't really do much for them. But for Sri Lanka, he has been one of those core players lower down the order who can come in and give you a few runs. And then I need to talk about the captain, Dasun Shanaka. He's a great bowler. He's a great batsman as well. He is another one of those players who can give you anything with the bat, with the ball. He is so talented, and I'm absolutely excited about seeing Sri Lanka play in this World Cup. And genuinely, Sri Lanka's qualifying to round 2. No doubt about that. And I know I shouldn't say things like that, but I'm going to be so surprised if they don't get through. Now we can talk about another team called Namibia. Namibia, genuinely, I don't know much about Namibia, but I've done a bit of research. And if you want a very in-depth, detailed analysis, please do check out the link up here. Aaron, the cricket connoisseur, has done a really good piece on breaking down the Namibian squad, so please do check him out. But I'm going to do a rounded version, and what I'm going to start off with is David Visa. Yes, Namibia has got a lot of their players through their domestic circuit now, rather than poaching players from all around Africa, mostly South Africa. But now Namibia's squad is majority Namibian, which is great to see. And their talent is coming up. So great news for Namibia. However, Namibia is the lowest ranked side in this year's World Cup. So let's see how they actually go about things. I need to talk about the captain, Erasmus. He is an absolute beast. I believe in the qualifiers a few years ago, he was the second highest scorer for the entire tournament. And oh my goodness, he is absolutely brilliant. David Visa is also one of those guys who's played all around the world in all the T20 leagues. He's a great bowler. He can bowl at the death, he can bowl at the start, he can bowl wherever you need him to, and then he can come and give you a lot of useful runs. Be it you bat him at 3 or 4 or you bat him at 6 or 7, he'll come and give you runs. He is a very solid base that Namibia should be very lucky to have. Ex-South African player. And now Namibia has the pleasure of having someone of that quality in their squad. Also need to mention JJ Smith, a left-arm pacer who can bat quite a bit as well. He's got some strong arms. He can smash it down the ground. And then he bowls really well at the death. And last but not least, Bernard Schultz, their leading wicket taker in first-class cricket, in T20 cricket. He is such an important cog in the wheel for Namibia that I'm just really, really excited to see all of these guys playing together, and especially that bowling trio, if I can call it that, of Smith, Schultz, and Wiese. That's going to be a dangerous combination. Yes, Namibia is the lowest ranked team, but they still have some sort of chance in this year's World Cup to progress into round 2, even though Sri Lanka and Ireland are the most obvious contenders. We can talk about Netherlands. Netherlands. 2 players I think of whenever I think of Netherlands. Actually 3, but Dirk Nannes hasn't played for ages. 2 players who are still playing, Ryan ten Doeschate and Roelof van der Merwe. Ten Doeschate has been one of the best all-rounders for such a long time in the circuit. Both of them played all around the world. T20 cricket all around the world. Roelof van der Merwe used to play for South Africa. He left arm slow, and he can bash a few runs at the end as well. He can be a solid base, but usually he's used as an aggressive lower order batsman. But Ryan ten Doeschate, he's more of a batsman nowadays. He's been, I think, the second highest scorer for Netherlands of all time. And then we can also talk about his stats in county cricket. Netherlands are so good this year, right? He was, in 2020, the Vitality Blast, he was the highest run getter for Essex. On top of that, he can bowl a bit as well. He can give you a few overs, but mostly he's used as a batsman, and he is so dangerous. We can talk about the rest of this Netherlands squad, because this is probably the best Netherlands team ever. And I'm telling you, because they've got all of their county players from England. They've got Ben Cooper. They've got Colin Ackerman, who is a genuine hitter in the top 4, right? They've got the captain, goodness me, Peter Salar, who is so good. Again, in the top order. The top 3 or 4 are absolutely explosive as anything. And I'm counting on Netherlands to cause an upset against Ireland or Sri Lanka. Or even if they qualify, I'm sure they'll be able to take some teams out, because they're so talented, especially in this year's World Cup. And the biggest strength I haven't even talked about is their pace bowling. They've got Tim van der Gugten, who is so good. I'm telling you, this guy has pace. He has a really good slower delivery as well. He went on these slow tracks in Oman. And then Fred Klaassen, left arm pacer, plays county as well. So a lot of these players play county like crazy in England and are so talented that finally Netherlands has all of them in one bundle. And I'm telling you, Netherlands is a dangerous team this time around in the World Cup. The last team I want to mention in Group A is Ireland. Ireland has upset a few teams in its time, all right, since they come out of it. And genuinely, I say this very genuinely, Ireland, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh have been the best up-and-coming teams over the past 20 years. And Ireland in the past 15 years, as well as Afghanistan. So Ireland is a very huge force to be reckoned with. And then there is some of their batsmen. Paul Stirling, highest scorer in that qualifier tournament a few years ago. But genuinely, he is such a powerful hitter. Played in the PSL, absolutely smashed everyone to shreds as well. He can just bash it out of nowhere, bats at the top of the order, comes in and just fulfills a role similar to not a pinch hitter, but more like a guy who knows how to smash the ball at the top of the order. Someone like Johnny Bairstow, who is hard to get out and can hit a long ball multiple times in the power play. And even after the power play, the dude is so good. And then I need to talk about Kevin O'Brien. He has been a star for these guys for so long. And he's still there. He is still there. And he is going to be another one of those big hitters that, you know, I talk about. You got Sterling, you got Kevin O'Brien. Right? These are absolute genuine names in T20 cricket who are just going to be so crucial for Ireland in this year's World Cup. And a player I'm really excited about is Curtis Camphor. I remember he burst onto the scene, what was it, last year or the year before? He bowls medium fast and has really good slower balls as well, and then give you a few runs wherever he bats in the order. So he's a genuine all-rounder that Ireland have. He's young and he's striving for runs and getting wickets because he's so dangerous. And last but not least, I want to talk about Simi Singh. This is a guy who's very experienced from the Ireland standpoint, and he's a genuine off-spinner who, if he doesn't take wickets, he has a pretty darn good economy as well, just around 8, and is a very important facet of the Ireland setup, especially if they're playing in Oman and then eventually if they play in the UAE. It's just those pitches are going to be more conducive to spin rather than pace. So Simi Singh is going to be very crucial to Ireland. Right? Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please do let me know what you thought about these teams and this group in the comments below. And to be honest, just tell me about the T20 World Cup in your opinion. Would love to hear it. Thank you so much once again. And yeah, until next time, take care.